Greetings, Internet. I'm not sure if I'm actually here. Let's see what actually happens. If anyone's there, let me know. Okay. Well, it seems to be streaming. So let's see. Okay. Hi. We're here to do combat. We're here to watch. Let's go for it. As I said, let me know in the comments if you're actually here, because I have no idea. Okay, so I've got a camera on the dice. These should be live. Let's test those. Okay. For some reason, one's not visible because it's too close to the front there. Okay. It says sign into chat, so let's do that. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, now what have I done? Oh dear. Okay, as I said, I'm learning. This is what I'm trying to do, is learn here. So what happened to the chat window? Do I want to see your chat? If there is any. Yeah, I'm typing the question. I've got to find the YouTube chat panel. You may know best look at the YouTube chat panel. I can't see a YouTube chat panel. Oh, I knew this was going to be a problem. Okay, stop and recording. The YouTube chat panel. WOBS, click docs. Okay. Yeah, I'm using ChatGPT to help me with this. Don't click anything from the menu. Tell me options. Docs. Chat. Okay, we're back. Right. Okay, let's see. Sign into chat. Do I need to sign in? Okay. So, obviously, no one's joined yet. YouTube live control panel. We don't want that one. We just want the chat. Okay. Chat. In the docs menu, click chat. Tell me what appears in OBS. A chat window. Okay. Look at the bottom of that chat window. Do you see sign into chat? Sign in to chat. Okay. It's asked. Should have done this earlier. Or my email address. It wants my password. This is annoying. Sorry, if anyone is watching, I do profusely apologise. I have no idea. Can I remember my password is the question. Two-step verification. I don't have my mobile next to me. Oh, I hate two-step verification. Excuse me, I have to disappear while I go and get my bloody mobile. Oh, man. Bloody... Oh. Right. So where is this sent to? What's that? No. To your Apple iPad and Apple iPhone. Oh, get it. Try. Resend it. Come on. Yes, it's me. This is all because I want to see what you guys are saying. That's all. Save that. Before we start even playing. So let's say if you are here. Right. This is bonkers. Right. Okay. Start goal. Da 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 da. Anyone watching? I'm not expecting anyone to be perfectly honest. I gave no warning. This is really all a test to see if I can actually run the game this way. So, yeah. Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. I am about to play combat. So let's give a bit of a caveat here. I got Combat Eastern Front. So I enjoyed it. The main reason I got Combat Eastern Front and not the prior ones is because, well, it's the Eastern Front, and I've been playing Ambush, and that had Normandy, Americans v Germans, and so forth. So I didn't think any need to get Combat or Combat Volume 2. Combat Volume 3, yes, I was tempted. Until I've read all the reports and reviews. And I've mentioned this a few times on Let's Discuss and so forth. So I thought, okay, Eastern Front, ding. Then in Eastern Front, they have a campaign system, ding, which Eastern Front's got 4 maps. And I thought, oh, and it was giving rules for having extra maps, ding, which were in Combat Volume 1 and Combat Volume 2. I thought, okay. Now, Compass Games, in their infinite wisdom, have offered Combat 1 maps. Great. Can't get them over here. Well, I can if I want to play the exorbitant postage price. In actual fact, it was cheaper to buy Combat 1 via Second Chance Games, and so I've got the whole game rather than just the maps. And I thought, if I'm going to get Combat 1, I might as well get Combat 2. So I got Combat 1 and 2. Now, I've shot, and it's still being released to you guys, all of Combat Eastern Front, the first mission of a campaign. And I want to do the next mission and so on. But I thought it was a live test. Let's do this here. Now, this is actually the second mission for this squad of mine. I actually did the intro mission in Combat 1 on Vassal because my table was being used up by Gettysburg the first day. I thought, you know what, let's actually put it on Vassal, try it out. And I used the cards from Combat 1. No, I didn't. I used the cards from Combat Eastern Front. The rules, the new standard rules, these bad boys. Okay. I used the charts and tables from that from the Eastern Front, apart from the weapon chart, which I used from Combat 1. Adjusted slightly because there's been some erratas and such forth. So I'm using the spotting table from the Eastern Front, sequence of play from the Eastern Front. Now, on Vassal itself, on this module, I haven't got the cards. When I did the little scenario I played, I actually had and used the cards from the Eastern Front as well. As a physically the deck sitting right next to me, I had a dice. I thought, all right, fair enough. I was using my dice cup. Bring it in the channel. I thought, okay. I've only got one sort of additional camera. I don't have another space to actually show the cards. So what I'm going to do is use the cards from the actual Vassal module itself. Okay. And I will use the sequence of play and such forth, which I had again on a separate card. Let's see if I can bring that up. Is that on that one there? Yeah, I'll bring all the initiative track up as and when you require it. Okay, so that's where we are. Now, what's actually going to happen here? I'm just going to play. I'm going to do the setup, get a Vassal log running, and such forth. And as I say, I'm just going to play until I get to the point where, you know what, I need a break. So, if any of you are watching, let me know in the comment. I have no idea if anyone's watching. It's got a number 2 there. I don't know what that means. Engage with your audience. Okay. Do I have an audience? How would I actually know if I've got an audience? No idea. So, okay. It's July 1944. The introductory scenario in Combat 1 is set in June 1944. So I thought, well, if I'm going to run that, let me get the actual scenario book up. Okay. So it was the introductory scenario. This gave me 6 guys, effectively. Randomly determined which 6 guys I got. Fair enough. Those 6 guys all survived the mission. It was close at some point. And then I did the campaign improvement. It was as I was getting towards the end of playing through that. I thought, these guys are nice. I like playing with these. So I thought, you know what? Let's run the campaign. And then it gave me an additional 5 guys. So I just thought, all right, okay. Those initial 6 had been separated for whatever reason, did the introductory scenario, and now I have my actual squad. Okay, let's go through who these boys actually are. You can see them there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, and I'll go through which were the ones that actually fought in the initial encounter. The Able team, none of them were in the initial encounter. Okay, the Baker team, all 3, and you can see they've actually got some improvements, and I can add the improvements on here. So Private Johnson, okay, he gained the tough skill. Private Peters, he gained the deadly skill. And Private Donahue, even though he's got a weapon skill of 7, he improved his weapon skill to now 8. All right. Then we had Corporal Thomas. He didn't improve anything. Private Stubbs, he didn't improve anything. Private Meeks, he didn't improve anything either. And the other 3 guys there, weren't in that initial mission. So that is my squad. So what scenario are we playing? I hear you ask, if anyone was watching. Okay, so going through, this is where I need Combat 4's book. Yes, this is gonna, because, it's a heavy box, and then everything gets knocked flying. Oh man. Okay, let's put that back there. Okay, hopefully that's okay. So yes, I should have got this, and the cards are in the way. Drop something on the floor. Combat Eastern Front, game rules. We don't. We want the actual rules for this scenario. There we go. Put those back in there. Too much stuff. These boxes are jam-packed. Even though I've got a decent system, I just dropped the cards on the floor to record all these. Keep all the units together. It's still, you can say, make a bigger box. How much bigger do we want these boxes to be? And again, not in the camera or the additional camera. Right. So we've got these. Right. Okay. So this has got the scenarios in it for the campaign. There's a random scenario generator, and the scenario developed is attack. I had that one on the Eastern Front, but I thought, you know what? Let's go with it. Because these are using the counters from Combat 1. So following all the setup here, it's created, and it's a big enemy force. So it's a large enemy force I'm facing this time. When I was facing the Soviets, it was a smaller one. So let's just zoom out a bit. Okay, there we go. And I can scroll down. So you can see there are a total of 28 German counters in 4 teams. I put all the counters in the packet, sorted them and shuffled them out, and placed them according to what's on here. And there are a total of 10 different setups. And then you adjust it slightly for terrain and such forth. For example, if you can see this German here, he's in a foxhole. So this one, that one there, he's in a hedge. And they're waiting. Yes. Then we went through the enemy defenses. I had to make a roll to see if they were coming in or going out of defensive terrain. Should have said I put the initial rolls on the tables here. I wanted it to be July because the first one was June. Playing America, the Germans are low quality. Scenario is attack. Map is the village. Non-player size is large. It tells me what roll dice to see which side of the board I came on. Rain? No. Precipitation? No. Ground is normal. Visibility is clear. It's day. Terrain fields are in effect because it's July. That's the random scenario generator part there done. Then we went through, is there any wire? There was no wire. Minefields? There was no minefields. There were no fortresses, no strong points. Okay. Then it tells me the player sets up at the end of step 0E of turn 1. We're not there quite yet. Within 2 hexes of the friendly board edge. That's near where I am at the moment. My player default morale is bold. That's why I've got a little bold marker sitting around that point there. They are then roll the dice for the enemy. They are alert. They are waiting and prepared. They are waiting and unprepared. They are waiting and unprepared. Was what I rolled. The scenario has 12 turns, unless the enemy has known minefields, in which in case there's 14, there are known minefields. Okay. If a yellow D-team character training on either side takes an appearance in the scenario, roll a D6, they could get a mortar. I don't know if there is a mortar counter for the Americans. I'll have to double check that. It then tells me about special rules, the mandated fire rule. So there's a special rule about that. We'll go through it then. Offboard artillery. Did I get one? No. Each enemy setup has 2 objective hexes. The actual counter mix for this particular game doesn't have an objective, so I used a victory point marker, and they're dotted around somewhere. I rolled a 0, so they should be in 13, 16. 13, 16, 13, 13, 13. There you can see got the little yellow BP marker under there. Okay, and the other one was in 1407. So that's back here, yeah, in the building. Okay. Random events. There's a random event table, so I did need to say it anyway. And victory points. I get victory points for if I don't control either objective, both objectives, it's -3. -2 for each player character that's KIA, -1 for each player character with an unmanaged bad wound, +1 for each non-player character that routes off map or is KIA, +2 for each non-player prisoner, double if an officer, and +3 if the player controls both objectives. So the objectives are important. And the more points I get, better for the campaign. Right. Okay. So I think we're good to start going through the sequence of play. And as I say, I could be talking to myself here, and if I am, great, no problem. What I'll do is I'll just trim this up and put it onto YouTube as a video. I gave no warning of it going to be a live stream. I just thought, oh, let's actually give it a try. See if I can learn something new. I always like learning something new. Okay, all right, so the sequence of play. Can I bring that up? Is that shown on here as an option? Notes. That's a confidence track. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't realize that this version had a confidence track. Well, I used the confidence track in my the other game I'm doing, and it's still actually coming up. So let's use it here. I quite like the confidence rules. Okay. Okay, so initial morale bold. Okay, so it's going through. So I could put, now this is where I click something and it goes and disappears. So we'll put that bold marker there. And the enemy's default, yeah, it does appear. And the enemy's default morale is normal. So where's the pieces menu? Yeah, I'm also still learning this actual module as well. So you have to bear with me at the present moment. Dice, 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 retire, notes, Germans. Oh, that's tanks. We don't want tanks. Well, I'd like to have tanks, but that's a whole new ball game of learning. Friendly character display, enemy character display, civilian character display. Where are the counters? Markers. There we go. All right, and we want utility. Is it a utility marker? Where's morale? General. Yeah, I can't. I'm not pausing it. So this is there. There must be a morale states marker. There we go. All right. So we'll put that there. It's obviously not routed. How do you increase morale state? Okay. Increase. So they're normal. All right then. So, so we're going to need to work out what the confidence levels are for each side, which is in this rulebook. Don't remember it being in or reading it in the other ones. So in the Combat 1 or Combat 2, I thought this was actually specific to Combat Eastern Front. They've obviously put it in this module, so which is useful. Wish they'd done upgrade the cards as well. But anyway, all right. So base at the start of a scenario, total the number of character markers of a side that are on the map, and add these modifiers to the total. Okay, so total characters for the Germans is 28. So what if we zoom that in a little bit? There we go. And I'll increase its size so I can actually read it, and hopefully you guys can read it. I know Vassal can be a bit clunky. All right, so there we go. Right, so we want 28 for the Germans. So there are 28 of them. There we go. And there's only 12 of me. 3, 6, yeah, 12 for me. Yeah, we're outnumbered 2 to 1. That's okay. Is it? Is it though? All right. So yeah, let's put that at the top as well then. Right. Ah, hello Douglas. I have someone watching. Have you just joined in? Ah, I was talking to myself. I know I'm running this as a test, and thank you for letting me know it looks and sounds good. That means a lot. Um, I'm just trying this out, see what goes, see what doesn't, because I'm going to be doing a lot more my live streams when I'm doing my Let's Discuss and such forth. And I would like to continue doing this because I've got a couple of hours spare. I could have played it off camera. I could have done all the editing, all the blah, 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 blah. And I thought, you know what, let's just do it, see what happens. I use ChatGPT to help me get it all set up, to the OBS and all the rest of it. I'm not a technical wizard, and I had quite a bit of problems getting the chat to appear. So, knowing that you're there, at least know that part's working. So, as long as I don't the confidence, yes. +2 of the size default morale is aggressive. No, +1 of the size default morale is bold. My default morale is bold, so I get an extra point there. Boom! We like that. Place the base marker in the space of the grand total. Okay, the only thing that will ever change with the base is the side gets reinforcements. Okay, then the current marker, max confidence, there isn't a current marker. Okay, we want the waiver. The waiver is a okay, so looks like they haven't created the full amount of counters necessary there. I love the game as well. I wasn't even going to do Combat 1. I got Combat Eastern Front. I was doing Combat 1. I played the first mission, the intro mission. And I had such a blast playing it. And I was playing it on Vassal because my table's currently used up by American Civil War stuff. So I just thought, let's just play it and see what got. And it was such a blast. I thought, I love these guys. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the campaign from the Eastern Front rules and see how it works. And then when I was like, hey, I've got a few hours, let's bring it to the channel. It's live. It's going in a separate area. If people come and join and chat me, just like you are here, brilliant. Anyway, I'm waffling on. I need now to make a extra counter. Oh, can I clone something? Can I clone that? No. Okay, of course not. That would be too easy. I can get a utility counter. Let's get a French one. There we go. So we've got another enemy counter. We can see it there. Oh, that's quite big. And we have a American French one. Say BP mark. We don't want BP. Oh, I see. FR. I was looking at it as French. It's not French. It's friendly. Okay, and then you've got enemy. Right. Okay. Do we have a? We do have a blank marker. There we go. So can I label that? I can. Change label. Right. I'm going to call that one German base. Don't know why I've got a capital M there. That's now anally retentive. Come on. German base. Okay. So we're going to put that. Is that stuck? Yes. Shift that. No. Go away. Remove you for the moment. Right. So we'll put the German base there. And we'll put the German marker on top. Oh, of course it disappears, and that can move up and down. Excellent. And then we can get another one of those. And we can call that US base. Change label. US base. I could call it friendly, but you know, there we go. US base, German base. Excellent. Right. Then we have the waiver values. Okay, Douglas. Well, I say Doug. Do you like Douglas? Doug. Sorry, my dad was a Doug, and he liked Douglas. So okay. Um, do you play with the confidence rules? I didn't know it was on this module. It's the first time I've seen it. I did use it in my actual game that is still being uploaded, one episode every 4 days. That game has been completed, but I did use it, and I do like it. So let me know if you've used it at all or like it. So anyway, to represent a force losing confidence in their ability to win the fight, morale is going down. At the start of the scenario, halve the base number, rounding fractions down, and place a waiver marker. Okay, utility type 2. There we go, waiver marker. So it's half rounded down. So for me, 13 will be 6.5, so it's 6. So we will put that down as U, no, capital US waivers. Okay, and we'll do one for the Germans. Give them blue, shall we? Now there's at 28, half 28 is 14. So their waiver value. Well, at the present moment, Spoof, thanks for coming in. I'm setting up a scenario, and I'm setting up what's called the confidence levels. I do like them. We'll call that German waivers. And click OK on that. We should fit it in the box, but there we go. I guess we'll call it. No, we'll leave it as such. Then it's not look a bit messy though, is it? And then the break is half that again. So that's the break for the Germans and the break for the break for me is 3, break for the Germans 14 will be 7. There we go. So if we make those any. I'll tell you what we could do, change the label there. We'll just call that Germans. Okay. And yes, I could have done this, and then we label 2 waivers. I can spell waivers. Okay. Oh, it's off the chart. Okay. Fair enough. There we go. Right. That's a confidence level. I said I wasn't expecting that to be there. I was going to go through the enemy setup. Let's minimize that at the present moment and bring it back as and when we need it. Okay. So the mission is to get the victory points, take as many prisoners is more points, but to break through. These crosses that are on the map here means that the enemy will not advance beyond that point there. And yeah, let's go through the sequence of play. Okay, so I'm using the new standard rules from East Front onwards. I know this is Combat 1. I'm using the charts and tables from the new standard rules. So going through the sequence play, that was one of the things I was trying to bring up, and that's how I found the confidence rules. Was where is there a sequence of play chart? No. Combat. What is that on there? Show high confidence track windows, notes. I'm just seeing it looks like they've stopped, which makes sense. You don't want to have everything on here, otherwise no one would buy the game, would they? So yeah, show sequence of play, but there it is. Okay, now I'm going to refer to this sequence of play on here, but if there is a slight difference between what I have on the card and what's there, we'll go through that. So for example, for a start, it says step 1 there, friendly card phase. We have actually step 0. So for that one, you've got roll for retreat for the confidence rules. We don't have to draw all of that. Resolve any commissioner morale. Well, there's no commissioners. We're on the Western Front. There's no mortars. It says reduce the default morale. No. Resolve any scenario dictated activity, and that's where we now need to start planning. Okay, I have to make a plan. What do I actually want to do? I mean, do I want to come through? So we have what kind of ground? We have trees, look like long grass, fields, hedges. The enemy are in, by the looks of it, three sort of clumps: south, central, and north. I don't feel strong enough. I am outnumbered here 28 to 12, so it's over 2 to 1. Now, there are dummies out there. It's what proportion of dummies out there is the interesting question. So let's see. Any ideas of a plan? Using the long grass sneak up with the there are 12 turns in total. The enemy, as I say, they are waiting. They got the waiting unprepared. Make sure I get all the charts and tables in the right place. Eastern Front, yeah. So we're doing, if you have got Eastern Front, we're doing the random generated campaign. We're doing the attack mission, and they were waiting and unprepared. But if we make any noises and such, well, they'll suddenly become prepared, won't they? Okay. There's a lot of open ground over here. I'm going to think, and we have got hedges and bocage on this side. Woods, rocks. So I think it might be more prudent to come from the south. Okay. Now let's have a more detailed look at my boys. If we can. Now, these three characters here from Baker Team, they were improved in the first scenario I did, which was off screen. You think the long grass is a good approach? Yeah, because if I sneak through the long grass, they can't see me, can they? Because, again, looking at the spotting, long grass is small terrain. Blocking terrain at the same level if character has sneak, hide, reload, crawl, or rally order. So maybe I can get to them through the long grass with sneak orders. Let's do that. So as I was saying, these three characters were improved when I played Mission 1, which was the actual from the random scenario, not random scenario, the first scenario that comes in Combat 1, the introductory scenario. And I said, I had so much fun actually playing it, I thought, I think I'll carry on with these guys. And I was going to do scenario 2 of them, and I thought, you know what, let's do a campaign. Now, do I split any of these guys up? So I don't think so. We have got 2 leaders that can do the planning. Yeah. Okay. Corporal Thomas, he's got a good brother. They're both good. Okay. Now, do you tend to keep your teams together? Because I only set up the first 2 hexes. Or do you separate them? You know, like have, like, say, 2 characters here, 1 character up the, you know, from Charlie with them, and then split them up accordingly. I'm going to try to keep my teams together. Now, is there an that's right. Check visibility. Other. Change label. How do I make them invisible? No. Say I'm still learning the actual vassal module, because when I played the other first one, I actually played on a different actual vassal module. This is the updated one. Okay, so my Baker team, that's the one that has the BAR in it with Private Johnson. So I'm going to move those through the woods, or through the trees. Call them woods, for these trees, isn't it? And then we'll have the Charlie team. We'll have those approach through the bocage. Normally keep them together, but sometimes, depending on the situation, I split them up. Well, Charlie Team's big, so I'm actually going to give one member of Charlie Team to each of the other teams. So they have some reaction capabilities. We just don't know what the initiative values are going to be of these guys. And then so we'll have Charlie Team moving through the fields. Fields is also it's also small terrain, so I can sneak through that as well. The grain fields and so on. Okay. And the bocage. Actually, I think these are hedges. I didn't roll the bocage. Okay. Now, how do I mark those unspotted? In the other version, you just flip them over. Other. Weapon ranges, morale. I find the spotting good, but it does have there we go. Oh, that's a bit hidden is Control H. Right. So if I highlight all of those and go Control H, there we go. Control H. Yep. I found the hidden and spotting rules good. It does tend to slow the initial start of the game down a bit. But yeah. All right. That's the setup. That is step, what do they call it? Step 0. Right. Okay. Now I start with 3 cards. My initial hand. Was it 3? Well, that was in the previous scenario. Attack. My hand size for the Germans for this was 5. The hand size. What's the hand size for the Americans? It says I start with 4. I'm sure it says it started with 4, but I can't seem to find it at the present moment in time. Isn't that so annoying when you I know it's here somewhere. All right, well, I'm going to start. Yeah, the player gets 4 cards. Under scenario special rules, the player gets 4. I know the Germans have a hand size of 5. I'm not sure what the Americans' hand size are. So I'm going to give them a hand size of 5. I can't see any reason why it would be less than the Germans. Now, as I said, I have to use cards from the original set. Are they? They're the German military force. Is that the German cards? Sent to German deck. Okay, where's my cards? That's a good question, isn't it? Show player hand. There we go. Show player hand. Right. Oh, okay. So do we shuffle those? No, it's got all the card numbers there. Okay, so looks like they don't need shuffling. So I'm going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3. So I've never actually played with these cards. I've only played with the ones from Combat Eastern Front. So apparently there are, I wouldn't say issues with these cards. They've just done some tweaks on them. But we're all playing it here, so we should be okay. Right, so that's my initial cards. Okay, so we've got some enemy event. Should I have drawn that? Roll on the enemy tape, draw another card to replace this one, then shuffle the friendly card deck, and then discard. So do they start with an enemy event before I even begin the game? I probably think so. It says flash. Okay. All right. Well, let's do that. Let's roll on the enemy event table. So the event table is here. Non-player percentage. So for percentage life, I use the black and the white one. Black is always the 10s. And the camera decided at that point not to work properly. Okay. Right, can you see that then? No, you can't see the other. The camera's been knocked ever so slightly. Okay, it's a 60. All right, so on this chart here, 60. Off-board artillery. The enemy get off-board artillery. They're not even waiting for us. Okay, off-board artillery. So now I have to bring out another chart from Combat 1. Combat Eastern Front. Off-board artillery. Oh, too many boxes. Too many boxes. All right, so we want that out. We need these out. Okay. Get rid of the bloody cards. I should have had this chart and table ready. Okay. Right. Didn't think they were going to get some, but let's see. All right, so it's German is, we have to determine what size the battery is. Okay, so it's 0 to 6 is 8 centimeters, 7 to 9 it's 10 to 5. Okay, that's not working properly now. Why is this dice tower decided to actually now mess around? Yeah, there we go. Can you see that? Probably not. Oh, this, I did have this all perfectly set up. 8. Let's just roll another dice down there. It gets stopped by the actual unit thing at the back. Is that better? Yes. Okay. Right. I can't even remember what the roll was. I'll tell you what, we'll roll it again, and this is the actual roll. Right, there we go. 1. So it's 8 centimeters. It's the mortars. Artillery impact. Impact hex. Okay, so it's a D10 and a D6. So where are they targeting? How to use the artillery charts? Rolled a D10 for the type of artillery, roll a D10 for the number of impacts. Doesn't say where the impact hex is. Roll them for the location. So where are they going to be placing the initial starting artillery round? That's a good question. Okay. Let's zoom out a bit. So this must be a random shelling because the Germans... Now that's going to wake them up, isn't it? Great plan. Unprepared. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Off-board artillery. Where does it come on? Enemy off-board artillery. I'm going to the core rules now. Orders. Artillery. OBA. 2.2, 13. What's that with 13? 13, 13, 13. Artillery. When OBA lands in a hex, placing impact. So where does it land? So I've never had the enemy do an off-board artillery before. So again, learning curve. But again, that's why I'm here. Where does the enemy place off-board artillery? The game rules will have the following information. So the game rules will have information. Okay. Yes, I'm referring to artillery. Okay. The player has to resolve the artillery barrage to make an artillery target hex marker and place it in the hex that has the largest number of enemy characters within 2 hexes. This is the target hex. If there are multiple choices, the player chooses the hex. Place it so at the bottom of the number. Right, for non-player barrages, use the same method but place the marker in the hex that has the most player characters within 2 hexes of it. If there are multiple choices, the player will choose the exact hex, but if possible, must choose a hex that has player characters in it. Well, this is going, oh man. A random event. Oh, so we need an artillery barrage marker. Movement, orders, vehicles, friendly. I don't even know whether there is one. Well, this is the Bring We Play Live. Things happen that you're just not expecting. Okay. General. Wind direction. Direction. There we go. We'll use that. Right. So the one hex which is closest to most of my characters. 2 hexes. 1, 2. So within 2 hexes. So that's probably that there, isn't it? 1. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This could be messy. Right. Roll separately to see where each impact lands per the artillery impact chart. Right. So bringing up the impact chart. How many impacts do they get? Roll a d10. D10 impacts. Right, okay. 6. So we'll put a nice little 6 there as a reminder that they have 6 artillery impacts. Yeah, not a great start. Tell me about it. Right. Okay, so then we do a d10 artillery impact to see where it lands, and then we do check on the scatter. At 0, it lands in that hex. So the first one, 4. Okay. And we roll a d6 at the same time. Right, okay. 4, 6. So I've got a little diagram here, which I'm following at the present moment. So the impact, so it goes direction 4, which is that way. 6 hex is 1. I think that's going to go off board. 2. So I'm leaving that there. If it goes off board, it's gone off board. Okay. So that's 1, 5. That's my only hope, that most of them go off board. Rolling these two together. Okay, so it goes direction 3, which is that way. And then it was a 5 from there. So that's 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 5 is there. Boom. Right, so let's put an impact marker there, shall we? Again, it's finding the markers. Bad foxhole, indirect fire. Okay. Boom. There we go. Right, so we'll put that back there. And we know it's enemy 81mm mortar. So that goes in there. Boom. Right, so that was, we then go down to 4 remaining. Right, direction 4 again, and this time with a 6. So direction 4, maybe I should use a, there we go, we can use the actual one of those, can't we? All right, direction 4 and 6. That's 4, 1, 4, 2. That's off board as well. Okay, cool. 3 remaining. He says trying to find the number 3. Direction 9. Lands in hex that is 7 to 9 hexes in direction 1 to 6. All right, direction 3. So, what happened to the artillery spotting round gone? Where's that gone? Ah, okay. Indirect fire. General. There we go. Bring you back. That was the hex. Right. Direction 3. 6 hexes? No, direction 9. No, 7 to 9. Doom. Lands in a hex that is 79 hexes in direction 1 to 6. Right. Okay. So direction 3 and 9 hexes. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close to themselves. Boom. I'll put a crater there as well. Indirect fire. Crater. Boom. Okay. 2 remaining. Can I get lucky? Okay, direction 4, 4. All right. Bring up one of those. Enemy 81 millimeters. Direction 4 is that way again. Direction 4, 2. Lands right. 1. Oh dear. It lands there. Boom. Okay. I'll resolve all the fires. So we didn't get lucky on him. So there's going to be a crater there. And it lands there. All right. We'll resolve that when we get. So the last one then. 0 has to lands in target hex. Boom. Okay, so I got hit by 2. Sigh. So I think this whole section is going to be stuffed because their morale is going to drop dramatically. And so we can remove that. Actually moves 4. Which one? That's not the one that's landed directly in with a 0, which lands in target hex. Which one moves 4? Okay. Was it this one here? Yeah, it's got like 4 1 4 2. So when that was the target, 4 1 4 2 4 3 4 5 4 6 was off, 4 4 was there. I can't remember what it rolled. In direction 4, it moves 4 in direction 4. Yeah, it's not moving 4 hexes. The actual chart has like a little. I don't know if I can bring that right up close to the screen. Okay. The impact before the last one. Yeah. What did it roll? Actually, go back through. Oh, wait a minute. I can't go back to the text, can I? Because I'm rolling real dice. Well, we know this one here that lands directly on him. That is definitely a nasty piece of work there. That's landed directly there. We then have here. Okay, if that was 4, goes 4 hexes, then that will miss him. Let's do that. Sometimes. Basil's great, but sometimes. 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. That goes there. Boom. So going back on it, if it was a 4-4, it was landing not on him. Direction 4. 4-1 is there. And 4-4 is actually there. Okay. Thank you for the auto correct. Right. Okay, so now what we have to resolve these. Now, 80mm mortar. I'm looking on the weapon chart. It's not on the weapon chart, is it? Okay. Blast and frag. 80mm mortar is blast of 4 and a frag of 5. Blimey. Right, how to use the OBA chart. Roll the initial blast dice. Modify the frag by the target's terrain. Most of my guys are sitting in the open, aren't they? Because they only had a chance to get moving. Hide all the pieces. Yeah. Okay. Modify the frag number by the target's terrain cover. So the frag for the blast is 4, the frag number is 5. So I'm rolling 4 dice. Rolling 4 dice, looking at 5s to hit. Okay. Could be a very short scenario, this. Okay, so Private Peters. Okay, well, fortunately 2 9s were rolled, but a 4 and a 3, that's 2 hits on him. Okay, so where do I get that? Do I just roll one of those? First one, close call. Second one, bad wound. Right, okay. So I need to do the close call test first. See if his morale drops from that. I haven't moved a counter yet. Close call. The wound is received. A close call hit. Okay. So a natural roll of 0. Okay, let's just roll for him. He rolls a 2. So he passes the morale check. He automatically has a duck back at the present moment. Right, is it? What's that resolving? Place fire, place smoke, place crater. Wait a minute, I'm trying to do my character, not the. Right, move that out of the way so now I can focus. So he's got a duck back. Status. We get the bad wound out. I might as well get the bad wound counter out for him. He's also got. Right. Okay. Where are orders? Duck back. Fire orders. Movement orders. Duck back. There we go. So he's got a duck back order already before we even start. And he's going to get the bad wound in a second. But he passed that first. Now the bad wound comes in. So now he has a wounded receive. He now has to take a morale check for that wound. He rolls a 0. Must duck back, but no morale change. So he's badly wounded with duck back in there. Right. Now, is a crater actually formed there? I know I actually just placed one. That was just to mark it. Crater. Number or less to create. So 2 or less to actually create a crater. No. So the actual crater there doesn't exist. Let's put that there. Oh, you're gone. And crater. How do I delete that one? Right, no, can't right click on it. Can we? What about now? Okay, remove. There we go. Stick him back in there. Oh, come on, Basil. What's stopping you going back in that hex? Nothing? He doesn't want to go back in there. Okay. Duck back. Mortar strike. So that will now turn over to smoke, won't it? I think the smoke is automatic. No, it's not. Smoke. Number of hexes turns. Ah, okay. So smoke 3 centimeters. 3. Okay, so let's. Can we flip that over? Place smoke marker. All right, okay. Fair enough. And that's going to be. Right, so the smoke's placed in there. Boom. Okay, so that's fire resolved on him. I'll stick those in the discard pile. Boom and boom. Right. I've still got to do all the guys that's been affected by the other shots that are adjacent to him, but we'll resolve this one next. Okay. So it's 4 dice. Well, you can't get a worse start than this, can you? Frag of 4, frag of 5. No, blast of 4, frag of 5. Yeah, so 4 dice. Okay, so no effect. Frag, sorry, blast of. So roll 4 dice. 5, so that's 3 hits on him. Right. 1, bad wound. 2, light wound. 3, light wound. So that's 3, 4, 5. That'll incapacitate him. So I'm just going to have him incapacitated. I mean, he's not dead, but he's not participating in this particular campaign. So move those out of the way. And right, so now I have to roll for the crater. Nope, that's not created. The crater is not created. Okay, so remove. Do I have an incapacitated character marker? Friendly. Boom, 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 boom. Is there actually shots fired status? There's no actual incapacitated marker. So I'm going to, there we go. Let's put that there. I'll take a note that is not actually KIA. Do I need 2 of these? Remove. Remove. Okay. Now, all those adjacent to the explosions, a test L. Garrison is in a hex of or adjacent to an explosion. All right, so we will start with Private Johnson. Private Johnson. Okay. You rolls a 2. Right. Pass, no effect. Fail, -1 morale level, must duck back. Must hide next turn, or in the first turn. So he's okay. Private Kowalski. 7. So he failed. Okay, so he's now marked with a duck back. And his morale drops. Alright. It can get irritating. It actually just takes the drop downs from the top counter. So status, where's his morale? Movement orders, fire orders, other orders, morale. So he's dropped one level from normal to cautious with a duck back order. Okay. That's those two. This guy here, Private Stubbs. Well, 6. 6. He passes. No effect. Next we have Private Butterman. He passes. And we still have to do Private Peters himself, even though it affected him. It just say, all right, so his morale is 5, take away 3. He actually passes the L test. I mean, I know he's already ducked back and wounded, but there we go. Right. Okay, what happened to... Did I remove the actual mortar shell there? I must have done. General, indirect, so that was there. Okay, so we have to, and it creates smoke. Smoke marker in that hex. There we go. Right. Okay. Then do we have to do in one for each? So these two have tested for that. They have to test for that as well. Seems a bit extreme. So he must test. Corporal Thomas. 7. He is a 7. He's okay. Right. Now I'm going to determine, does this actually create a crater? It does not. So that is removed. It's removed both of them. I didn't ask it to do it. Ooh. Right, you stay there. And we create smoke. There. Okay. Moving along. Just this one here. Does that create a crater? No. So let's remove the crater. Move. And place smoke there. Boom. Right. Well, that all stemmed from that enemy event card. I'm scared to actually draw a card. Right, okay. Well, that is a tough start, because now what's going to happen, anyone within 10 hexes of that boom, boom, boom are going to be, when it gets to that stage, are going to be alert. I suppose, am I still hidden? Not too sure. Okay. Well, it does definitely show that this game can get you before you even start. Pull back, boys. What is that representing? Just the initial German bombardment, just the preliminary stuff. Someone spotted somebody else on a different sector. Remember, this is a squad. So someone spotted something somewhere else and saw and just decided to bring some artillery down. But anyway, so the friendly phase. The player adds, I was bringing up the sequence of play, wasn't I? I've started with 4 cards. We've gone through the friendly card phase. If the player does not currently have any cards in his hand, he does. The player adds any cards to the hand that were placed. Right, okay. Any cards in excess of the hand size, there are none. And the player must play one card from their hand for initiative. Okay. So looking at the situation, crying a little bit. That's the cards we got. Woo. 82, 26, 16. 42, 46, 24. Now, if I get the order, that gets played straight. That has an effect on me. Play to read. So this one, 96, 16, and 2. They're all discards. Any of them really use play to reload any one friendly character immediately? No. Discard play to reroll any one die roll? No. Or add +2 to a single friendly leader's command for a planning order? No. For shooting all friendly characters from 18 on I can't see me doing any shooting in the first turn. So in actual fact, that's probably the one I'm going to play. So let's stick that there for now. Good choice. Let me know. All right. So that will actually sit on here. There's another thing about Basil that does annoy me. Okay. So I now need to drag that off and then bring that back up to show you I've placed it there. Okay. So now, going back to the sequence, the player must play one card from their hand for initiative. We've done that. Okay, if a friendly card played for initiative says to resolve an event, it didn't. Okay, we now go to the friendly order phase. The player assigns an order to each of their characters that does not have a mandated order. Well, we've got a couple of mandated orders already out there, haven't we? So, has the initial plan of sneaking up on the enemy gone out the window? That's a good question. I don't know. Oh, I didn't mark those as unspotted, did I? They should be all marked as hidden. They all are hidden. They're all hidden. Okay. It just seems a darker shade for those guys. All right. So we're all still hidden. What is going to be the plan? Do I really want to sneak up now? The Germans are going to be alert and waiting for us, but we're still going to be unspotted. Okay. Where's movement orders? All right. We're going to put him on evade. Him on evade. I think we just need to get moving. Him on evade. Could be a short campaign. He's on duck back. So we'll actually change it to hide, wouldn't it? Place in the hide marker. There we go. Movement orders. Come on. Do I stay with the snake? Because if we're evading, even though they're waiting, they will still get the chance to spot us, won't they? Okay. Slow and careful. Yeah, I know. I've marked them. I'm going to change it now. Just had a rethink. Let's stick with the plan. It hasn't gone totally out the water yet. Right. Movement orders. Sneak, sneak, sneak. He stays on hide. He stays on hide. Places. Remove that. Place with that. Sneak. Come on. And replace with sneak. Yeah. Take advantage of the terrain while you've got it. And then movement, sneak. Control Shift K was that? Shift K. Shift K. Start learning the controls. Movement or sneak. There we go. Right. Right. Okay. So that's all my orders assigned. Going back on here. Enemy card and order page. Okay. So the way I play this is I draw a card for each individual soldier. Well, that's what I did in the previous ones, but there's 28 of them. So it says draw an enemy card for each of the 4 enemy teams to determine the enemy team's initiative values. Place the first card in the red box on the red card and the second one and so on. Determine the initiative order of all friendly and enemy teams. And if using one of the optional methods for giving enemy orders, enemy characters will be given orders now. I do it as they activate, one at a time. Yes, it's a bit slow, but that's what I did. Not had 28 enemy characters before, so that's going to be interesting. Okay. So we need to draw using this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we need to fill this part up. The initiative track. Okay, so let me actually get through Abel, Baker, and Charlie. We've got red, yellow, blue. Okay, so enemy blue is 87. So going through my values, the lowest I got is 24. They got an 11, so it's going to be the German red first. 11. Then my Charlie on 24. Then next up after 11 for them is 35. And for me, it's 42. So 35 is enemy yellow. Then it's my 42, which is Abel. Then my next one is 46. Yeah, so it's going to be Baker. Then they have 53 for their white team. And then their blue team. Let me just show that there. That's the sequence. Okay. Bring that down the bottom there. Right. So we begin the action phase. Is anyone still watching at this point? Are you still here? Let me know. Okay. I'm just going to save the game at that point. File, save game as scenario 2. Start turn 1. Okay. Why is that not going in there? Okay. Backtrack that. Boom. Okay. I'm watching. Here's number 4. 4 real. I'm here. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not talking to an empty room, though I'd have still continued anyway. Okay. So we go through the action phase. In initiative order, resolve the orders for each character in the first team on the initiative order. So it's the red team that we're looking at here. Perform an action as requested on the activated character's order marker. If the character is an enemy alerted character without an order, then instead of performing an action, it draws a card and receives the order it will act upon in the following impulse. Okay, so they're all sitting here at the present moment unalerted because they're all got the word waiting on them. Now, waiting characters within 3 hexes of an alert character on the same side are now alerted. But there's a big artillery barrage coming. So when do they get alerted there? Something about 10 hexes of a boom. Then another character that is alerted will continue to alert them. So I'm going to now check in the core rules when they become alert. Character state, right, waiting alert. Unprepared, prepared, and unprepared. Each scenario will specify whether the characters on the side are prepared or unprepared. These states can apply to friendly or enemy characters. Unprepared characters are not ready for the foe, so there'll be a delay of them receiving orders when they become alert. Prepared characters are ready for the opposing side and will receive an order the moment they are alerted. A prepared or unprepared state does not apply to alert characters, only applies to waiting characters. A prepared or unprepared state does not apply for alert characters. All right. Okay, well, they're waiting characters. Right. Each scenario will specify whether the characters on the side are waiting or alert. They're all waiting at the present moment. These states can apply to friendly or enemy characters. If the scenario specifies that a side is alert, all characters at that side will activate as normal. None of the rules in 17.2.1 or 72 apply. Okay, well, they do. So they're all marked. A character in a waiting state is considered to have no order for spotting and for firing. All right, a character in waiting state is going to have no order for spotting and for being fired on. Okay, so the no order column on the spotting chart makes sense. I mean, they're sitting there having cigarettes and schnapps and such forth. Waiting characters are activated in their action phase. They just cannot be given orders until they become alert. They can spot, however, in step 4A. All right. A waiting character will immediately become alert at the moment any one of the conditions below is satisfied. A waiting character will immediately become alert at the moment any one of the conditions below. Right. Step 4A of their activation, they have a line of sight to a spotted opposing character. No. A weapon is fired within 10 hexes. A character on their side within 3 hexes is hit by firing. A character in their hex is fired at. An opposing character enters their hex. An explosion goes off within 10 hexes. There is a melee within 3 hexes. At the end of the turn, if there is an alert character on their side within 3 hexes, a waiting non-player character successfully spots a player character. A waiting player character successfully spots a non-player character. Right. Okay. So we've had a big boom, boom, boom go on. So everyone within 10 hexes of a boom is no longer waiting. It says immediately. So looking at that, I think that's pretty much all of them. So we go there. Range of 9 hexes, range of 7, range of 5. So I think they have all woken up from that, aren't they? Okay. So that's the southern part of the map. So taking that LOS as well from here. I know I'm using the lowest, so I'm looking at rather than sitting there counting hexes. That's 9 hexes, 8 hexes to him. Okay, let's try that again. 10 hexes. Well, I think the entire German force, and you'd expect it, wouldn't you? I mean, honestly. Now, how do I remove the rating? Is there a quick way to remove the ratings? Highlight those. Remove. Hey! Remove. Well, so much for the secret attack, eh? Ah, dear, oh dear. Okay, right. So they are no longer waiting because it says immediately. So they are now alert, becoming alert. The moment a character becomes alert, mark them as alert and follow these procedures depending on whether their side state is prepared or unprepared. They were unprepared. The side state is prepared, immediately draw an order card for the just alerted character and give them an order, or place an order on the just alerted friendly character. If the side was unprepared, do not determine an order for the newly alerted character until the character's activation in the next impulse. Well, that boom, boom, boom happened before we even began the impulses. So I would suggest it's happening now. The side state is unprepared. Do not determine order for the newly alerted character until the character's activation in the next impulse, which we're in. Important, when the order is placed, the character will not begin acting on it until the following impulse. The unprepared character is alerted on the 4th impulse, or at the end of the turn, they will activate normally in the next turn. Okay. So we're looking at red, and I've always got to start with the lowest hex number. So there's no one more forward than the 11 hex row. So we're starting at 11:05. We will draw a card for him, and that will be his order, which he can't act upon until next impulse. So he gets a rapid fire or something like that, but he can still do his spotting. Do let me know in the comments if I make an absolute faux pas or a mistake on that particular on a particular song. So we're looking at the guy in this X here. They're at 5. Now they've got normal morale. He will get an aimed fire order because he's in cover. All right, so do I click on fire order, aim fire, boom, and then I can put that in the enemy discard pile. Oh, that's the discard pile there. There we go. Right, so that's him done. Moving on to this guy here. He's in cover, normal. He also gets aimed fire. Now, I'm rushing ahead here. We'll mark him with aimed fire, but we should also be checking to see if they can actually spot anyone. Can they spot anyone? There's woods, there's grass. The answer is no. Okay, I think we'll keep that quite simple. No. Right, moving down the front line, this guy here will be the next. And can I actually click and draw a card on here? No, I have to draw it from the deck. Okay, here it is. He's got normal, he's hiding. Well, obviously it was a big like boom. That's made him go his pants. So yeah. So status. I think I'm gonna hide her. Don't know why that's classed as a move order, but there we go. That goes to the discard pile. That's the front row red there. So the next one up is this guy here. Normal. He's sneaking. 5, 6. Is he moving forward to see what's going on? Right. Movement orders. Sneak. Now, can I step through? How do I? Replace a duck back, change label, cycle up is Control X. Control X. There we go. And he's doing a sneak 5-6. There we go. Boom. He won't be doing anything this impulse, but he will next. If that had been an evade, he still wouldn't be doing anything in this impulse because he was unprepared. Okay, send to discard pile. Next one down. No one else on that row. 2 down here. All right. This one, he's hiding. Choosing the better side of valor. And then the other guy, he's doing suppressive fire. Now we don't know if he's got suppressive fire, could be rapid or it could be slow suppressive fire depending on the weapon. We'll only determine that if he actually gets a target to fire at, which hopefully he won't. But fire orders, suppressive fire. Okay, I think. Oh, this guy in the stream. That is classed as cover, so yeah, so it's normal. So he does aim fire as well. And send to this guy. Right, so that's the enemy red team done. We then go bringing up. Now, is there a way I can show that that's done? Used. Hey, right. Charlie. Well, most of my guys aren't doing anything in the first impulse because they've got 0 because they're on sneak or hide. So that's a very quick impulse for me, isn't it? Can I do any spotting? Got the same problem they have in that if I'm at sneak and I'm behind a field or no one can see anybody. So the short answer to that one is no. Right. So next up is German yellow. I'll just mark out as used the yellow German team. Ooh, close it down like that. I've heard that the Arnhem version, if you read what's the sayings on Board Game Geek, is not very good. The scenarios are dull, don't work or broken, and as yet there's been no mention from Compass if they're going to do a update kit pack or anything along that, which I think is a bit poor, to be honest. I was holding off getting combat until I heard of the Combat 3 Arnhem. I didn't get Combat 1 or 2 at the initial time because I had Ambush. I thought, well, I've got World War II individual soldiers already. I also had the DVG one. What's that called? I can't remember what it's called now. Which I didn't really like that much anyway. So I thought I don't need Combat 1 or 2. I've got Ambush. Then I saw Arnhem. Hey, British, gotta get. Then I saw the reports on it and I thought, maybe not. And that's why I got Combat Eastern Front, because Germans and Russians you get to play both. That was the big selling point. You can get to play both sides. And then subsequently finding the campaign in the box, which I then I've been running something on the channel, made me go, oh, you can play the Americans, and it's got maps. And I thought, well, I need to get Combat 1 and Combat 2 to get all the additional maps. So I did, and then I thought, oh, I might as well go just offline, just go actually play some of these scenarios from Combat 1, the introductory scenario, and I had such a blast playing it. That's what got me to say, you know what, okay, I'm going to set up the random scenario, work to see if it actually works. for the Americans. It's working. I'm getting screwed, but it's working. And hence why, I thought, well, I need to test out how to do live streaming. And that's what you're my little guinea pigs, guys. So, yeah, it seems to be working okay. I'm just going to try and complete the first turn tonight. I don't know when I'm going to come back on. The way I'm looking at it, this was just to learn the sequence, how it works. But I have sometimes like spare time. I'm just going to come on and continue. Should I announce it? Would you be interested if I announced it? Would you be interested to watch it? Let me know in the comment section or in the chat. So, right. Okay, where were we? After I answered that question. Yellow team. The enemy yellow team. Doesn't seem to be so many of those around. So, do we have anything? No, we have this guy at the top here. So, you get the cards. This is the point where I wish I had 3 screens, or probably 4. Right, so the enemy card, he's in cover, normal, he's doing rapid fire, and if he does get a target, we will determine if he is rapid firing. So, we will give him the order. Fire orders, rapid fire. Send this guy. Next one down. Okay, will be in this row here. This guy here. In a foxhole. Normal. Alright. He's doing an evade 5-6. Okay. Now that's a good point. Evade 5-6. I do have right over this side of the map. Yeah, 5-6. He's coming forward. Right, just in case you're not sure which direction. Should I move that closer to the front? There we go. All right, so evade 5-6. So give him a counter, status, evade, and they've got to count through them. I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. I'm not sure my guys are. Boom, boom, boom. But it does create a story, I'll tell you that much. Before we're going to do a sneak attack here, guys. Let's approach stealthily. The enemy is totally unprepared for us. What the shit is that? Boom! Ouch. Anywho, was it Control X was step that up, wasn't it? There we go. And we're looking for evade 5-6. Maybe I should go back. There we go. Evade 5-6. He won't act on it this impulse. Hi, Demi. Glad you could join us. Okay, next yellow up is to be. I did the wrong guy there, didn't I? Actually, that was on that guy there. Evade 5-6. I was doing this row and then brought this counter over and then got lost. I'm just checking there. And 2 in that characters in that one. Okay. So moving down the front line. He's the next one. Right. Drawing a card for him. He's doing aimed fire. Status fire orders. Aim fire. Boom. Okay. I think that's as low as it goes there. Yep. Just discard that card. Move up, back up to the top. Right. So we are now at this guy. After all. And he draws a card. And he's normal. He has evade 6 on him. Okay, movement order, evade. Now, I wonder if I go backwards. Cycle down, Control Z. There we go. That was quicker, wasn't it? Boom. Right. Remember, they don't start acting this until the next impulse because they were unprepared. Okay, moving down the front for this yellow team member here. Oh, that card needs to be discarded. And he's got normal suppressive fire. Okay, fire orders, suppressive fire. Okay, I think he's the next one. No one else is further back than this dude. So, send a discard and move him up to there. And he's got normal rapid fire. Just firing out now, just, they're being fire orders, rapid fire. And that send to the discard pile. That would be the yellow team done. So bring this up here. Change label. Oh, used. Okay. So next up is my able team. Now, again, we've done them all with sneak. That's Charlie. Able's at the top here. Yeah. As they got sneak orders, they're not doing anything at the present moment in time. So that was quick. And also, that'll be the same for Baker, because they've all got sneak. Okay, so we then go to the German white team. Right, he's the lowest hex numbered, so we start with him. Drawing a card. He's doing sneak 5. Okay, now sneak 5 means he's going forward. He can't go forward. They can't enter the 9 extra. That's what the X's stand for. So what does that mean? If he can't go forward, do I draw another card for him? Or does he sit with no order? He'll get an aim fire, wouldn't he? Yes, that's the default. So let's just send that to discard. He'll get aim fire. That's something I should have been checking as well. Is, yeah, do units get aimed fire? It's a mandatory order if they've got line of sight to an enemy unit, which they don't at present. Okay. Checking for that guy. Drawing a card. No, he's hiding. Okay. This row here, this guy. Yeah. Do any of you guys do this way of doing the cards? Each individual soldier gets his own card rather than doing the group. I mean, I did it with 20 enemy soldiers. 28 is as big as it gets. So what's he doing? Aim fire. Let me know. So this card, then the next guy down along. He's doing suppressive fire. At the present moment. Now, we're going through all this, and my guys are just, this is still impulse 1. Okay, next white guy. There's quite a few of the white. Oh, hopefully most of them are dummies. He's doing evade 6-5. He can move forward. So, right. So I'm just going to check that special rule for this scenario. That's game rules. Yeah. Okay. So in the attack, there's a mandated order. The mandated fire rule is used as normal with one exception. Because the enemy is defending, the necessity to have line of sight to a player character does not apply to non-player characters or in foxholes, trenches, buildings, or are in cover within 4 hexes of an objective. To make this clearer, this exception means that non-player characters who are in the specific situations listed will roll for aimfire even if there is no character in line of sight. Okay. So this guy who we're testing for here is in cover. The objective hex was one of these, was it? No, was it back here? There. Oh, I knocked it flying. Where's the objectives? 1407. That isn't. There it is. So he's within 4 of that. So he actually has to do a test now to see if he gets aimed fire first. So that's a troop quality check on him. Now his troop quality is 4. He rolls a 0. So on a pass on that check, I believe means he actually gets aimed fire. A fail, he'll follow what's on the card. But let me double check that. Sometimes it's difficult to find out which one of these actually applies. When giving an orders, an enemy character in cover has a normal morale and has a line of sight. Right, okay. So if they pass the check, they receive an aimed fire order. So he doesn't follow what's on that card. Okay. So he's in cover within 4 hexes. Did it say 4 hexes? In a foxhole? Well, I think he's in a foxhole anyway. He is. Okay, so he has to see if he passes the test. If he passes the test, he does, he gets an aimed fire. They know we're coming, they just don't know where. Oh, that was a blue guy. We shouldn't be testing the blue guy yet. That was on him. Boom. He's in a foxhole anyway. He's not in a foxhole. He is in cover, but it's not a foxhole, trench, or building, and he's within 4 hexes of an objective hex. Now, he is. There's the second objective hex. So again, he gets to roll. When using the troop quality of the unit at the back, he failed. So now I will draw a card for him. He does suppressive fire. Okay. So any other white along here? No. That's white. And then it's blue. Okay. Right, so he's the first one we've got to test. All right. Now, he's within cover, no line of sight, and he's not in a building or anything like that, so we just draw a card for him. And normal. Sneak 4-5. He can't sneak 4-5 because he can't go into that hex row there. So let me, now that we're here, check what that actually means. What's the restrictions? It must say so. It does say it somewhere. It's finding these sometimes where the actual note is. Mortars, a setup, right, okay. Just as mandated rule, roll a d10 for off all artillery, place an objective hex, random. I can't find it. Can't go beyond hex row 09, hence why those crosses are there. But where does it tell me if they don't, if they're not allowed to, what do they do instead? At the moment a mover is picked for them, it could be potentially cause them to move in or beyond the hex column at any point during the turn. Change the direction of their order to the card's route direction. This rule does not apply to berserk characters. Right, there we go. It's in there. It's finding it. Now, if I was filming this normally, I'd obviously pause while I'm doing that, but this is a live thing. So he actually goes direction 3, 2. Okay. So I gave someone an aim fire who shouldn't have had it, but you know, move. Oh, what rate does he move at? Okay. Well, he was doing a sneak, wasn't it? So, yeah, sneak 4, 5 becomes sneak 3, 2. Cycle up, down, cycle up, I think. Control X. There we go. Right. Can anyone remember who I gave the incorrect order to? Who I said come with? I think it was this guy actually, because I was going to move him into the tree. So actually, let's remove that order. And it was an evade 5, 6, so it would have been evade 3, 2. Okay. Movement order, evade. I will change it to replace, cycle up. Why isn't that not moving? Control X. There we go. All right, so falling back. Well, they don't know what's coming, do they? So, any more blue on this row? Yeah, there's a couple down here. He's in a foxhole, so it did say trenches and foxholes. Foxholes, trenches, buildings, or cover within 4 hexes of objective. So he has to do a test first. He passes the test, so he gets an aimed fire. Next up is this guy. He will have a card drawn for him. And normal suppressive fire. Fire orders, suppressive fire. And send to discard pile. Next blue. No more on that row. This row here. This guy in a foxhole. Does his test. Rolls a 5, fails the test, draws a card. He's decided that he's going to hide. That's cool. Handle that. Send to discard pile. Moving down. He's in a foxhole. He does a test. 0. He's going to do aim fire. Okay. Back to the top. Now we know there's a blue one in this hex here. There he is. He's right on the objective, so he has to do a test. Or he's doing aim fire as well. Okay, I think the last enemy encounter, this one here, he's not in a foxhole. Is he within 4 hexes or objective marker? 1, 2, he is indeed. 5, no, he draws a card. Normal, he does aim fire anyway. Oh, there's 2. Oh, there's the yellow one in there. Okay, missed him. Aim fire for the yellow guy. He would also have to roll. He failed. He draws a card. And he's doing a run and gun 4 and 5. Okay, let's do something different then, shall we? Run and gun. I assume that's a movement one. And 4 and 5. Cycle up, control X, control Z. Let's cycle down, shall we? Control Z. 6, 1. What we're doing all is 4, 5. There we go. Right. Got to remember that the running gun is on the yellow dude. Put the aim fire. Slight problem with stacking these guys. It's got auto snap. That's no bloody use, is it? Right. Okay, I'll stick that underneath. There we go. Right. And then we'll discard both of those. And that concludes Impulse 1. In the sense of all the guys done. Activate each team on the initiative track. Okay, so let's bring that up. Move that to Impulse 2. Now, can we highlight those and remove the X's? Got them unused. There we go. Impulse 2 then. Da, 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 da. Right. Okay, we're starting with the red team. Okay, so we got sneak. We've got this long grass, but we're not actually in the long grass, are we? We are sitting in the open. Now the line of sight goes through the long grass, so it still blocks. So they can't see us. With an aim fire shot, they've got no one to target. So aim fire, nothing. Aim fire, nothing. Going down, hide, nothing. Back to the top again. Sneak, and he's got a sneak 5, 6. Okay, and it is a second impulse, so he will move in direction 5. Which is direction 5? Let's bring up the directional marker. Direction 5, he sneaks into there. Yeah, just making sure I've gone the right way. Okay. Then moving down, continuing the red. All right, this guy's got hide. This guy's got suppressive fire. No one to target. Okay, and then no one lower than that. No. Back to the top again. This guy here, aim fire. No one to target. No one red there. Okay, so that concludes red. Quite quick when there's no one to spot and you can't spot them. And you've already dished out the orders. Okay. Then it goes over to my Charlie team. So I finally get to move a counter. Get to move a counter. Okay. Sneak. Let's use the smoke as much cover as possible. It's not very thick just yet, so we'll sneak here. Sneak here. Again, the fields are blocking lines of sight. I can't see them. They can't see me. Hide. Doesn't do anything. Sneak goes to there. Sneak now. Sneaking through the trees blocks line of sight. Sneaking through the grass blocks line of sight. And then, wait a minute, I'm just jumping in. I'm going to move all my guys. No. Only Charlie at the present moment. Sorry, jumped the gun there. Only Charlie. We only got 3 members of Charlie there. We have a member of Charlie. I did split them up a bit, didn't I? He'll move there, and that member of Charlie. Right, okay. Don't move everybody. You're taking a weepy if you do that. Right, German yellow. Okay, so front line German yellows. Is there a yellow under there? No, he's red as well. Okay, rapid fire is nothing. No, okay. Next row. Evade, and he's going to evade 5, 6, so he's moving forward to see what's going on. So he would evade, it's a second impulse, so he's going in direction 6, so he's moving here. Okay, fair enough. And this guy aim fire, nothing. Right, down into this building. Okay. So evade 6 was the aim for 2 markers on top of each other. Right. So aim 4 would be yellow, evade 5 is blue. Okay. Continuing down. No. Suppressive fire. No. 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 In this hex here, run and gun. Okay. And he's going run and gun, direction 4-5. Thanks, Ross. I recognize the name. I'm just trying this method out effectively. See, direction 4-5. We're in second impulse. We go direction 5. That's it. And it's got the red there, so normally he would fire if he had a target. He hasn't got a target, therefore he carries on running. So he's doing a run, not a yeah. Okay, next up then. So that's all. Suppressive fire, rapid fire, no other yellows. That's the yellow team of the enemy done. We then go on to my able team, which are the guys at the top here, and we start the gradual sneak forward. Okay, that's able team. Then we have Baker, which let's use the trees if possible. One of them's got hide, so he's not doing anything. Then we've got the enemy white team. Evade. So he's doing an evade 3-2. So it's second impulse, he's going direction 2. He goes up there. Okay. Next white. Down the front, nothing there. This row here. Nothing there. Him hide. Alright, aimed fire, nothing. Suppressive fire, nothing. Aimed fire, nothing. Aimed fire, nothing. Suppressive fire, nothing. Again, they're not shooting because they can't see any targets yet. Aimed fire. They know we're out there because their artillery alerted them. Thanks, guys. That was a random event. So that's the white. And then it's the blue. Right, so this guy, sneak, 3-2. He's going direction 3, which is, oh blimey, that's a stack, isn't it? There we go, blue. Next blue. Aim fire, nothing. Suppressive fire. Hide. Okay, hide. Aim fire. In this building, there's one there who's doing evade 6. Evade 6 is moving forward into there. Probably nudged out by the other guy. Come on, Hans, go see what's going on out there. In the worst possible German accent you've got. I'm from Austria. Okay, aim fire. Okay, so that actually concludes impulse 2. So we're going to go to impulse 3. Let's unmark those, unused. And remove all the move markers. There should be actually nothing really happening in impulse 3 unless they've got evade orders. The aimed fires aren't going to do anything because again, we've got no targets. As long as I stay sneaking behind the low grass or the low fields, they can't see me. So all I'm going to look for here is any that have got evade orders. None of my guys have. So yeah, I'm taking a shortcut. So evade here, 3-2. So here we're doing direction 3, which is there this time. There's a guy in here who's got sneaks, so there's nothing there. This guy's got an evade, 5-6. Here we go in direction 6. This third impulse, direction 5, which is there. hide, aim, fire, suppressive fire, hide, sneak, hide, evade on this one, direction 6, and no, run and gun, direction 4, which is straight down. Now, some of this might look a bit like, why is he moving forward and then goes sideways? He's not sure what's going on out there. You've got to remember that I've got the overall view of the situation. The Germans don't. So that's what it's trying to represent. Have I covered everybody? Sneak, sneaks. No, it's only the evades or other movement, because no one's shooting at anybody. So no, that's actually the third impulse done. So the fourth impulse will have quite a bit going on because we actually have the sneaks and such forth. So we're starting with the red team. Go through this hex here. They have got, there's one with aim fire, that's one at the bottom. 2 lots of sneaking. So sneak 5-6 and sneak 3-2. Okay, the 5-6 is the top units of blue, so the red 3-2. We're in the fourth impulse, 3-2. So he'll go direction 2, which is there. He's probably going to report back. Americans are out there. Okay, so he's done. We'll do the blue one in the correct order now. Let's say there are multiple things that's going on here. So nothing here. Right. We've just done him. Okay. Any other red that need doing? Aim fire. Suppressive fire. Hiding. No, that looks like team red. Done. Okay. Next up then is Charlie. Right. So we're going to use the fields as cover. They're on a hide. Sneaking up. That is Charlie done. We then have the enemy yellow. Nothing here. Right. So he's on evade 5-6. So this will be a 6, which is that way. Remember, he can't move any further forward than that. So he's gone to his maximum limit of what he can actually do. So next turn, as we know, he'll probably either come back or do aim fire from that position. Next row of yellows, rapid fire, so that's nothing. Working top bottom there, doesn't really, nothing there. Aim fire there, no. Mr. Run and Gun. So he's going direction 5 this time, which is that way. That's a gradual meander to the front, isn't it? Rapid fire, no. That's the enemy yellow team. Right, so we then have my able, which are my guys at the top here, sneaking through the long grass, cannot be seen. There's only 3 of them, they're done. Yeah, I'm outnumbered 2-1, and the enemy got off-board artillery. In my random card draw phase, now I see how many cards I start with. There was an enemy event, and it was blinking off-board artillery. Boom, boom, boom. We already have 1 KIA before the game even started. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, Baker. Sneak through the woods. No, he's on a hide. So there's just the 2 of them. Okay. And then we've got enemy white. Okay. Evade 3-2. So that'll be the 2, which will send him that way. Suppressive fire, no. Aim fire, no. Suppressive fire, no. Hide, no. Just checking to make sure I'm not missing anybody. No. And then finally, enemy blue. Right, so we have a guy at sneak 5-6 here. So he's going direction 6. So the other guy went forward. Sorry, the other guy went back to report back, I assume. This guy's going forward to continue the reporting. See what's going on out there. Anyway, hide, aimed fire, suppressive fire, aimed fire, aimed fire. No, that's it. Right, we have reached the end of the impulse. So we now go to the end phase. Resolve all medical aid orders, there are none. Resolve all hide, rally, reload, and search orders, there are none. Resolve all planned orders, there are none. Remove or add smoke markers. Now, those mortar shots that came down, next turn, so turn 2, they will actually start to go with the wind. And that's a good question. Which direction is the wind going? I did roll this. It's going upwards. So move all that. Okay. Any waiting characters? They're no longer waiting. They're all bloody alert through their own artillery. So remove all orders from all characters except those in melee. So is there a remove order instruction? I know in the other version of Vassal there was. I'm assuming there must be one that says, what is that one? Hide all counters, save map, line of sight, make all markers invisible, move. Doesn't seem to be an actual show hide inventories, remove. There we go. Remove all order markers. Boom. Hey. Okay. Except for melee. Place enemy cards that are on the card display in the enemy discard pile. Let's bring that up there. So these all go sent to the discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I said I didn't need the shooting this time, so that's fine. It's not the last turn. That was or is turn 1 complete. So let's now unmark all those. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Unused. Put that back ready to go into impulse 1. Let's remove these from here because we obviously don't know what they're going to get. Impulse 2. Sorry, turn 2. Okay. It's not the last turn, so that is it. Okay. Well, I thought I'd get the first turn done, which I have done. I'm not sure when I'm going to do the next one. That was an interesting start. Now, obviously, there's not been any firing or contact and such forth. I've got to obviously now sit back and think about a plan because I have no idea what I'm going to do in that situation now. But hey ho, that's why we play these games, isn't it? To have the interesting side effects of random artillery just blowing one of your guys away before you even get to start. So, what I say at this point is, any of you that are here, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, I'll try and make an announcement when the whole point of this was me to test if it actually works. It seems to. Did you enjoy it? Was it any good? Let me know in the comments or in the chat now before I actually sign off. Not much action occurred, obviously, apart from the enemy artillery. But I should imagine during turn 2 or 3 that will escalate. I'm going to have to concentrate on part of the enemy front. I reckon up here is my plan now. I mean, that was sort of the plan anyway. I'm not sure how aggressive these Germans are going to be. That is also an issue. darn good point. Thanks for reminding me, everyone. The confidence track. Where are you? I lost a guy, didn't I? That's going to set my confidence back a little bit. Where is the confidence track? There it is. Okay, now this is not in Combat 1 or 2. It's something Combat 3, but yeah. Guy killed in action. Oh, he's incapacitated. Still -2. I know I put I couldn't find an incapacitated marker. He's not actually dead. He's incapacitated. So I'll try and find that off screen. But yes, I've dropped 2 points already before we even actually got going. So yeah. Right. Well, I'm not sure which button to press now. I'm going to stop streaming and then end broadcast. Or should I do end broadcast? I think I'll do end broadcast and take it from there. So remember, play games, have fun. Bye, Internet.